Hey, Positive Pathers, it's Keenan here, and for our second post this week, I wanted to talk to you about taking the first step to creating a life of wellness and freedom, a life that I had to take the first step on a long time ago, and it was something that I know a lot of people struggle with. You know, we've talked to a lot of clients I've worked with over the years, and it's always the first step in anything, right? That's the most difficult. It's the one that seems to really be where we get hung up in it. You don't ever really hear of somebody being like, "Oh, you know, I'm 4 or 5 steps down my path of whatever you're trying to create or the goals that you're manifesting or bringing into being." That you hear somebody say, "Oh, this is too hard." You know, you don't see somebody quit right before the finish line too often. You do in some cases, but I found with creating a life of wellness, whether it's weight loss or wanting to know more about creating a home that's clean, that doesn't have a bunch of chemicals that's making you and your family sick, or with your household products, or clean nutrition, or whatever it might be, or other aspects of life as well, it's usually the first step that people get hung up, and a lot of times it's mental. It's something that they don't have enough knowledge, let's say, or they more times than not don't think that they can. And you know, I'm here to remind all of you guys, and myself as well, you know, that I still struggle with this from time to time, that everybody is good enough. You're good enough. And this isn't a rah-rah session where it's like, oh, everybody's good enough. You know, you have to do the work, you have to put in the time on anything. But when it comes to creating your life, a life that you're actually excited about living, I've talked about that in the past, in some past posts, whether it's something along the lines of something physical, like weight loss, or getting ready for a big athletic event, or having something that you have a knowledge base of how to create a life of a chemical-free home. Again, for example, it always starts with that very first step. And the very first step, something that reminds me, and from my own path, I go back a lot to high school, 20 years ago. And I was, when I was a freshman, my son's a freshman now, so I've been thinking about this a little bit more lately. And I remember when I was going out for the football team, and I hadn't played football before, and because I didn't have a super strong relationship with my dad, I didn't know how to, we never played catch or anything like that. I was good athletically, but I didn't have a lot of the know-how, again, the knowledge of how the game of football works, which if anybody's ever watched a game of football and understands what is going on that field, it is very much a mental game. It's a thinking man's game. So I had a lot to learn. Thankfully, my best friend, Kevin Riggs, he taught me how to play football. And it was such a cool thing to bond with your friend over, because you're able to, learn the game and have fun while doing it. Well, he went on to start, he played the entire season. I went on to sit on the bench, ride the pine the entire season. And it was one of the most painful experiences I've ever had, especially during my high school years. It's like all my friends were coming to the games. We were all, excited to be in high school, and there's Keenan sitting on the bench every game for the entire first year. And I decided that was never going to happen to me again, that I had to learn everything I could about this, and that involved me taking the first step. I was creating, I didn't have the verbiage for this at the time, but I was wanting to and working toward and walking toward creating a life on the field that I was excited about living. And I went up to the Rocky Mountains where I had some family, and I lifted weights and I ran every day. I overtrained way too much. I knew nothing about working out properly at that time. But I just did what I knew how to do. I did my best. I gave it my all every single day. And I came back in August and started, for Hell Week, and I blew my coaches out of the water. I blew my teammates out of the water. Everybody's expecting me to come back and just be some guy that kind of keeps that spot on the bench warm, from me sitting on it the entire time. And I won the starting position. I won starting positions on all 4 special teams. And I had a fantastic season that also taught me a lot off the field as it did on the field. So I came back, changed everybody's perspective and mindset of what kind of athlete Keenan actually was when it came to the game of football. I enjoyed the rewards of being a starter player, the respect, the ability to play and have fun, the looking forward to practices because I knew it would actually be for something. It's hard to go out and practice 5 days a week when you're not going to get to enjoy the game day. So it changed a lot of my perception, but more than anything, it changed my mindset. it taught me how to take the first step, taking the first step toward whatever it is, whether it's sports or athletics or a chemical-free home or weight loss or nutrition or something in your relationships or your career or whatever. You take the very first step, you get over that initial hump of this is so hard, I don't know what to do. Change your mindset and say, no, I'm going for it, and it's going to work out. Whether it's God or the universe or whoever you believe in, they've got, you know, they've got your back. He, she, whoever's got your back. There's a force out there that does care about us and will help you get to that goal. It's in your heart, it's in your mind for a reason. So if it gets hard or it looks impossible, don't let that discourage you. Just keep moving through it, and you'll learn so much as you pass through it, like I did that freshman year, learning that, one, this doesn't work for me. Not starting is not acceptable. I wasn't willing to tolerate it, which was a big first thing. Two, I am not okay with feeling like I was a failure. And I wasn't a failure, but in my immaturity at that time of my life, I felt like that. But it taught me that if I was willing to apply my work ethic and if I was willing to go get it, that it would work out in my favor eventually. Maybe not overnight. I did spend the entire season on the bench, but over time, I was able to get what I wanted, and I rocked it. I had a great season. And then here's the caveat though. I came back from my first year in varsity, my junior year, and I got into fear-based thinking of, well, these guys are way better than me. They are bigger than me. They're more experienced than me. They're older than me. And guess what? That season, it was good. I started a lot of games. I didn't start a lot of other games though, because I went into it with the mindset of I'm probably not going to be able to start or compete. And so I brought that to life. Unknowingly, I was manifesting it, creating it with my thoughts. Even though I didn't have that knowledge at the time, it still affected me. And I look back now, and I turned it all around by my senior year, but it was like, it really created in me an idea that you really are in the driver's seat. You are good enough, and you can do these things. Now, that didn't overreach and apply to all other areas of my life. I still had to learn those over the many years to come after that, and I'm still learning a lot about it now. But it initially taught me that this is what you are capable of, and this is what you can do. And so that's what I'm sharing, that story from my own life with you guys in Positive Path, that no matter what you're here for, no matter why you're watching, no matter what you're working towards, again, whether it's something with physical health, or whether it's a relationship or career or finances or any other large aspect in life, if you go after it, if you take that first step, the ground will rise up to meet you. You just got to get moving. And that's part of the reason, I named Positive Path, right? It's a path. It's a journey. It's step after step after step, and enjoying each step, even if you don't always know what's around the next bend. And as I'm saying that to you guys, there's some things in my life that I don't necessarily know what's around the next bend on, but I'm trusting it's going to work out the best and for the highest good for myself and my son. So I wanted to, that was today's post, a little bit of a departure from the norm, but I'm kind of, the more I'm talking to people and the more I'm seeing what's out there, the more I'm realizing that, what Positive Path does and offers our clients is pretty straightforward. It's clean, it's a chemical-free home, it's effective fitness that's going to get you to your goals, that fits into your life, and it's clean nutrition, right? We coach you through that. We provide the products. We help you rock it. We're a simple company. It's a simple message. But I'm learning that there's so much more that involves us as human beings and the energy around that these lives are more and more gravitating toward speaking to the heart of the matter, so to speak, of what people deal with and what prevents us all from taking that first step toward wellness, whatever part of your wellness you're addressing right now. So I wanted to share that a little, again, a story from my own life, and tell you guys a little bit about where I have been, and let you know that I totally get it, and we're in this together, and we're doing it together. So if you want to know more about what our coaches can do from Positive Path, or you just have something that you'd like to share, check us out at our website, positivepathlife.com. You go to Contact Us tab, or click on the $99 Wellness tab if you're ready to jump in and get started with one of our coaches. Or if you just have questions, you want to know more, you have comments about today's post, you saw us on YouTube, you saw this on our Facebook page, wherever it was at that you saw this post, or any of the ones in the past, that's the place to go. Our coaches get back to you usually within 24 hours or less, and we will be happy to answer any questions that you have, provide some free content, and get you moving in the direction that you want to go. So we appreciate you guys checking us out. If you're ready to get started with our product line, the best way to start is the wellness kit. It's in the link above in the title of this post. So click on that, it'll take you right there. Super simple ordering process. And one of our coaches will be following up with you on that as well, if that's the direction you go. So you got a couple different options. Just contact us, get a dialogue started, $99 wellness assessment, or just jump in and get moving with the products, in which case we provide a free coaching session with that as well, as a way to get you off on the right foot and to say thank you. So hope you guys are having a great day. Make it a positive path day, and we'll talk to you next time.